soon. Let me just check whether we are live. We'll just take a second and we should be able to find out. In the meantime, Anupama, what's up? How are things?
Hi. Hi. Everything is going good?
Yeah, things are going fine. Awesome. I think we are live. People who are watching us in the chat, if you can just comment and let us know whether we are live and our audio and everything is fine. I think that should be super helpful wherever you're watching this. If you comment, I'll get to see it over here and we'll get to know it really quickly. And so that should be super helpful for us, right? Thank you for, in the meantime, I'll assume that we are live. And so thank you for, yes, we have a comment on YouTube that says, hello, all is good. And we have a Facebook user that says, yes, we are live and our audio is fine. Awesome. So thank you everyone for joining in today. I'm super, super excited for today's conversation because this has been one of the most awaited features personally for me because I've used email sequences since over last I think 5-6 years, and I've used it for cold outreach. I've used it to improve conversions. I've used it to reach our prospects at scale. And that's primarily what we are going to talk about today, how you can now do that within ClientJoy as well. Right? And so thank you for joining in. Anupama, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. So just like ended up the day and got ready for this live session.
Awesome, yeah. And so can you tell us a little bit about what we are going to see today?
Yes. So today we'll be seeing email sequence. So we already saw a glimpse of it in the last live session. So today I'll be walking you through it. How can you create sequences? How can you enroll your contacts into those sequences? How can you know the status of the sequences? So that's all I will be showing today.
Awesome. Thank you. And so I should mention at this point of time that at any point of time, if you have any questions, please write to us in the comments wherever you are. I'll be able to see the chats that you put in, and I'll be able to bring all of those started working on. Oh, I think there's some issue. Oh no, we're back.
There is some
So
glitch.
one of the yeah, maybe there's some glitch, but no live is without a glitch, right? So that's always going to be a challenge. And so just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I'll just try and fix the glitch that we have and see if that can help. Just give me 1 second. It should be okay. Yeah, no, I'm not able to see any issues over here. So this seems to be working fine. Okay. Just 1 second. Got it. Awesome. Okay, let's finally start. Hello and welcome to this live, and thank you for joining in. I'm Yash, co-founder and chief executive at ClientJoy, and today we're going to show you email sequences and how that can help you reach out to your cold prospects as quickly as possible and at scale. Right? Before we talk about email sequences, though, let's look at why we're doing this live series. Right? One of the key things why we started this live session series was because when we were looking at our help chat and support tickets, we found that most folks had questions around things that are already possible within ClientJoy, but because the feature was not discoverable, our users were deploying some sort of inefficient workaround. We've always wanted ClientJoy to be as simple and as minimalistic as possible, but even though we try to do that, since there are over 150 features in the product, some things always get lost and buried within menus and menus. And so the goal of this live session is to share some journeys of the product that will make using ClientJoy even more blissful and a little bit more efficient for you as well. If you'd like to help us make ClientJoy better for you, I'd recommend you join our beta program on clientjoy.io/partner/beta. What this would do is that before we release our next feature, we'll give you early access to test it out and offer feedback on improvements around the flow, structure, and use case for the feature. Your feedbacks would make sure that when we make a wider release for all of our 4,000 agencies and 9,000 freelancers in 90 plus countries, it is flawless for all of them. Right? Again, just sign up on clientjourney.io/partner/beta and start sharing your thoughts and feedbacks with us on every single major release that we make. Also, if you're new here, I recommend joining our Facebook community of about 1,300 freelancers, which is 1,400 now. So about 1,400 freelancers and agency owners on facebook.com/groups/clientjoy. This community is a safe space where you can ask questions, answer other people's questions, or just share what you're going through as well. We use this space to learn about what is going on in the agency space and as a sounding board for what we should do next within the product. You could get software recommendations, learn industry best practices, and share your expertise and experience as well. Again, the community is available at facebook.com/groups/clientjoy. Lastly, if you've been around for a while, you already know that we at ClientJoy are working on an express pace to deliver value to you, right? And now there is a place where you can check those features out as well. Just head over to updates.clientjoy.io and you will see all of our meticulous releases along with use cases and documentation ready for you to explore and start using within ClientJoy. Again, our update log is available on updates.clientjoy.io. Now that I'm done with my hidden agenda, let's get started with looking through email sequences and what it can do for your business. Right? And so email sequences, why should any business or an entrepreneur or a freelancer use email sequences? Anupama, this is the question for you.
Okay. So email sequences would be used mostly for, basically, if you have gathered some leads, like from some places, right? So then you can reach out to them and you can, basically, so normally what happens is that if you have acquired a lead, you will be sending them emails, right? So in those emails, you will be telling about your businesses, your portfolios, or maybe if you know like some personalized information about that lead of yours. So for example, which business they are from, what kind of problems they are having in it, then you will create an email and then you will send it, right? And then after a few days, you will start following up with them. But what happens is like over the period, these kind of emails that you have, it keeps on increasing, and following up on them, it becomes a challenge for you. Then there are new people who are coming in, and the same process they have to follow. So basically, in this whole situation, email automation comes in place for your rescue. So what happens is like this is the one setup that you need to do once. You create an email sequence, which is going to be some template email that you are using, that you can schedule, like for example, day 1, day 5, day 8, day 9, and you just enroll your leads into that automation, and that sequence will do its job. So one by one, all the emails will be sent based on like what schedules or intervals you have sent, and then if they reply to you, they are just out of that sequence. You can know that this lead has shown interest, and now your job of sales will start.
Got it. I think I should also mention that I made a mistake while I was doing an introduction, and that mistake is the fact that the partner program or the beta program is actually not on clientjourney.io/partner/beta. It is on clientjourney.io/partner/beta program. And so I just put that link up in a bit over here so that you guys can all see the beta program link as well. Just give me 1 second to do that, and I just get done with it. But thank you for to whoever checked it. Thank you for checking it out. So this is the URL, as you can see on your screen below over here. It is clientjourney.io/partner/beta-program to join our beta program and help us make ClientJoy better for you and for all of our users. And so thank you for checking me up on that. And so I'll tell you primarily the reason why we need email sequences, right? The first and the primary reason why we need email sequences is no matter what you write in your email, no one is going to respond to your first email. If you're lucky, they'll respond to your second one. If you're a little less lucky, they'll respond to your third one. but you need to follow up consistently to get a response from your prospect. And I'm not talking about harassment or borderline harassment or spamming your prospects. That's never a good idea. The thing is that all of us are center of our own universes, right? So for me, client joy is the center of the universe, but for you, who you have your own business, and so for you, client joy may not be a priority. Client joy may not be the center of your universe, which means that if I talk about client joy only once, there's very low probability that you'll pay any attention to it, right? Because you're bombarded by information and knowledge from 10 different sources, right? And you only have so much amount of time and so much attention span, and you'll not be focused on all the things at once. And so consistent reminders about my center of universe is important to be sent out to my prospects with great offers. And by the way, I'm also going to start a course on how to send out cold emails, and I'll be putting in the details in the community and on our social media, wherever you are. So wherever you're watching it, just make sure that you're subscribed, you've joined, you've followed, you've liked, whatever the case may be, so that you'll always be in the know when I drop the course on how to send out cold emails, right? And so with that, Anupama, if you can share your screen, and we can start the demo for email sequences.
Sure. Let
Here's
me
the
know when it's
screen.
on the screen.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can see, all of us can see your screen. I just hide the prompter, and yes, here we are.
Sure. So, okay. So first thing is that we will take a use case here, right? So I'm taking an example where I am a design agency. So what I have done is that I went to LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, I found all the companies who have raised rounds, right? And I'm reaching. So whenever a company is raising rounds, I'm reaching to them, like that you will be spending now on your marketing, your branding. So I can help you with your digital marketing, and I can help you with your design. So that's a cold email sequence that I'll be preparing and showing in this example. So first, like I have created an email database, which I imported into my system. So I'll just show you.
And so while you do that, we have our first question. That's a very quick question that that we can answer very quickly. So Anupama, here's the question: can email sequences be used for onboarding existing clients as well?
So in the first version of email sequences, you cannot do that. It only works on the lead. It doesn't work with the client. So for the onboarding of email, for onboarding of clients, that is something that we will be working in the next version. So the goal is that we launched our first version of email sequences yesterday only, right? So now we are doing this live, and we'll be reaching out to you, all of you. We'll be gathering feedback, and based on all of your requirements and the feedback that we gather, we will be releasing it's the next version, where we will be including all those things which are very important, or which we might have missed. So this is also one of the things that we have in plan, that how can you actually use it for nurturing your existing leads? How can you use it for onboarding your existing clients? So that is something that is in plan, but not there yet.
Got it. Got it. Yes. So thank you for answering that question. We'll go back to your screen share.
Sure. Okay. So you can see that these are some leads that I have imported. So you can see that they're just imported today. So for the email sequence, there are a few things that you have to do first, right? So we also launched email templates in this release. So you can go to email templates. So you can open this automation tab. So here you can find this email sequence and email template. So the first thing is that you create an email template, right? Which you can do in the email template tab. I've already kept it open here. Okay, so I have to design my email sequence. So I have created some email template, which is a 4 email template. So first is like the first email that I'll be sending to my contacts or leads, cold email. Second is something which I'll be, giving them an offer. Third is that I'm telling them that, we need to follow up. Fourth is that if you are not interested, then let me close and move on, right? So these are some of the emails email templates which I have already created. So you can see them. Okay, so you can see that I have used some links in the first email only. I'm asking them to schedule a call with me. So I've used ClientJoy scheduler to added a link over here. You can create your own email template. This is like new template button. If you click over here, you can put your, you can give a name to the email template from here. You can give a catchy subject line. You can write a beautiful email body, right? Which works like try to keep it short and as personalized as possible. So if you can personalize using custom fields that we have. So you just need to put this bracket and then you can, use the custom fields which are available. So your whatever fields that you have in the lead along with the custom fields will appear over here. And then you can create a template for yourself. So once you create this email template, you will actually start. These email templates will be available in all your email composers. So whenever you are writing an email, it will come in a drop down from where you can insert them. That I'll be showing you when creating the email sequence. So first thing is that you have to create this email template. Second is that you brought your new lead to ClientJoy. So you can do that by importing it. So that importing journey we have covered already in a webinar link so that you can check. So yes, if you can give link to that.
Sure. Just very quickly before we move on, I think we have another question, which is not strictly about email sequences that we're building, but central around cold email outreach, right? Which is primarily the theme of this live, right? And I apologize because I'll not be able to pronounce your first name, so I'll just say your last name, which is Miss Korpun. So thank you for this question. How to get email leads for cold emails outreach? That's a great question. I am going to cover this at length in the cold email outreach masterclass that we are building. However, here's a short version of that answer, right? So there are a couple of things that you will need. The first thing that you need is a LinkedIn premium account, and the second thing that you need is Hunter, right? And so then what you do is you figure out who your ideal client persona is. So let's say if your ideal client persona is let's say marketing heads of small and medium businesses that are in pharmaceutical industry located in let's say California, right? So let's say if this is what your ICP is, as it's called, you essentially put all of those filters in the LinkedIn search, and with premium you will have granular filters as well. Then you get a list of all the people who are leading marketing for pharma companies in the location that you're looking at, and then when you put that URL in Hunter, it will scout through the web and then give you email addresses of those people. You then integrate Hunter with ClientJoy, and so all the email addresses that are created within Hunter, you'll be able to see them in ClientJoy as well. They'll be created as leads, and then you can enroll them in sequences, right? So now this might look like a lot at once, but this is a very short version of the answer. In the course, I'm actually going to do that with you, right? So I'm actually going to put up those tools and actually write the query, actually extract them out of Hunter, actually put in all of them in sequences, and then send out those sequences, right? So you'll get a better idea. But that's a short version of the answer, Miss Korpun. I hope I didn't mispronounce that. But so thank you for asking the question, and keep your questions coming. If you have any questions, just write those questions down in the comment. As you see, we can take questions at any point of time, and looking forward to answering all of your questions as quickly as possible. Anupama, back over to you.
Yes. Okay. So if you're using this tool, you would actually acquire emails. So you can create an Excel sheet. So this is the one which I had created. And then you can export it in a CSV format and then import that in ClientJoy. So that's how you can bring all your cold emails to ClientJoy. So best practice would be basically if whenever you are bringing those leads to ClientJoy, ensure that you are adding a tag to them so that you can identify that. So for example, if I'm bringing leads of a particular industry, if I'm bringing them from a particular source, so adding that tag will help you in knowing that, these are the leads which I have to enroll. Second thing is that in your sales pipeline, you can also create a sales, right? So which is for your all the leads, which are, you can say that these are the ones that in your cold emails list. And once they reply, once you get a positive feedback on them, then you can move them to a next stage. So the goal is that how would you identify that, these are the leads which I need to enroll. So you can use tags and stage. So these two ways. Okay, so I'll go back to the sequence part, like how will you create a sequence now? Okay, so in the automations tab, this is a new tab that we have created. So all the workflow automations, email automations, everything that we'll be bringing in future will come over here. Okay, so you can create on the new email sequence button. Okay, so this is your sequence designer space. So here you can actually add all the emails that you want to go. So for the first, let me do it a little bit quickly. So I'll just add my first step. So this is the email composer which will open, which I was talking about. And you can see that your email templates are available over here. So you can either choose an email template from the one which is there, or you can directly start writing your email over here only. So for example, if you are not prepared, then you can directly start writing if you're testing the system in all those scenarios. So this email template is ready. I'll just save it. Your subject, your body will come here. Okay. And I'm adding the second email, which is email sequence step 2. Save. Okay. So when you're adding a step 2, you also have to tell, like, once the step 1 email is sent, how long does the system wait and then send the second email. So normally you put that in days. So I will say that send after, let's say, 2 days. So send 2 days after the step 1. So just save it. Add the third email. So you can find the best practices in this, like, how much gap you should keep between these emails. So this is something that Yash will also cover in his course. For now, I'm just keeping a 2 days gap. And I'm creating a 4-step email. You can create as many steps as possible. There is no limit over here. Once you make it, generally it will go over a lot of iterations. So everybody in your workspace, every salesperson, owner, and admin will be able to use it. So this will be accessible to everybody in the workspace. So what will happen is that there would be a lot of iterations. So you can come again here. Yes.
There's an interesting question that I thought I'll bring up at this point. So a Facebook user wants to know, can we use variables, which I think means what we call as merge fields? Can we use merge fields in the subject of the email as well? Is that a possibility?
Yes, you can. Yes, like this you can.
How did you do that? Can you just elaborate a little bit on that?
Sure. So in the subject, you just press this square bracket open, if you can see. So anywhere, like if you are making a proposal, if you're writing an email, anywhere in ClientJoy, if you want to access the merge fields as a shortcut, you just press the square bracket open. This is the keyboard shortcut, and it will open this drop down, which you can actually access only by mouse. You don't need to, only by keyboard. You don't need to lift your hand. So you just down arrow. For example, I want to use the company data, just put it, and you can use it.
Got it. And so this will say, let's say, trying to connect Apple, or trying to connect Tesla, or trying to connect Microsoft, or whatever the case may be. Here's another question that I should kind of top this off with as well. Is that so? These are merge fields that ClientJoy offers by default, right? Receiver company, receiver first name, last name, receiver address, and so on and so forth. However, I have created certain custom fields, right? And so as an example, I've created a custom field that that captures the data of our leads and clients, where we capture their team size, right? And so basically, I want to write the subject that says, how are you managing payroll for merge field employees, right? So how are you managing your payroll for 58 employees? How are you managing payroll for 90 employees? And so depending on the person that's receiving, it should replace with the custom data that I've already fed in. So this merge field that you guys have, is this only applicable for client joy fields, or is this also applicable to custom fields, like the fields that I could have created?
Yes. So you can actually use, so you can create custom fields in ClientJoy, and all those clients custom fields are also available as a merge field. So I'll show you. So in this workspace, I have it should show date of birth. Yeah, so receiver date of birth, you can see. You can type
Okay.
as well. It will do the search thing. So one more thing which is very good about is that, so for example, I have created a I have created a custom field in my workspace which is requirement. So when you are creating cold email sequences, generally you would be capturing information about your leads, which includes their industry, the problems that they are having, the solutions that you are offering, and all those become part of your email template. So I'm just one of the custom field which I created is requirements. So I will just write requirements. You can see that receiver.requirements it came. So basically,
Yeah.
this is how you can do it.
Got it. And so the short answer is that we can use custom fields for something like this as well. And so let's say if I were to go back in 1990s and then wish all of my leads on their birthday, I would write an email, happy birthday, receiver birth date or something like that, right? And so then that could also work. And so thank you for showing that and explaining that. Here's another question that has come up. And that primarily is centered around for email sequences, or for cold outreach, using ClientJoy. Is it mandatory to add my own SMTP or Gmail account, or how does email sequences, like from which email is this email sequences being sent out?
So basically, the concept of email sequence is that they give you maximum delivery rate, right? So, like there are tools which allow you to broadcast email in an automated manner, right? But why
Mhm.
you choose email sequences, because it gives you highest delivery rate, and how it gives is that uh, basically we will be sending, or any email sequences system will be sending email to your leads or your contacts through your email address only, right? And how it does it, like it is not sending all the email at once. It tries to mimic human behavior. So how it mimics human behavior is that if I have to send a template email to 50 people, how would I do is that I will send the first email, right? I will do the second email, and there is going to be a time gap between, maybe half a minute, 1 minute delay. So that's how email sequences work. And for that,
Mhm.
and all the basically that reduces your spam. If there is high, your email actually reaches in the inbox. So there is a high probability that your contact or lead will be seeing that. So that is the reason that emails are sent using your own email addresses, because Gmail or any email receiving, client. So you can say like your Gmail, your Outlook. It should feel that it is coming from a person. It should not feel that it is coming from an SMTP server. It is coming from AWS or
Correct,
mail
correct.
server or
Because
Sendmail.
feeling is the important part, right? It
Not
should-
feeling, not feeling. It should be able to read the data. It might not be
Thank
a
you.
little bit true.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so just to kind of quickly sum it up, it will send it from your own Gmail or Outlook or Zoho or whatever email account that you have integrated with ClientJoy. And this email sequences will actually mimic your behavior, right? The way that you send out emails, it will mimic that behavior and then send it out. So which means that your emails won't land in marketing or promotions. It would land in inbox of the inbox, right? And that's sort of the goal. We have another question by Junior Gonzalez, and that question is: are you guys planning to do any kind, I mean, similar kind of thing with SMS?
Yes. So that is also something that we will be bringing in. So email sequences, the first version, we only have emails, but later we will be, combining it with our scheduler. We will combining it for yourself to send SMS. You would be able to send like WhatsApp messages. You will be able to send, create activities for yourself. So those kind of things will also be possible. I think the first version there is only emails.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so the real power of client joy is that starting from the time that someone becomes your lead or prospect to the time that they make their payment, everything happens within client joy, right? So from them becoming a prospect to receiving a proposal to signing it, becoming a client, getting an invoice, and then getting paid, everything happens on client joy. And so our goal is to integrate and make and bring in more and more things in terms of capabilities within client joy, so that you don't have to rely on different softwares and then create a patchwork of apps and integrations and Excel sheets to run your business, right? And so that is the direction that we are moving on to, where this is V1, right? We have started with email and leads. Then we'll add activities. Then we also have schedulers, so we'll integrate with that. We'll also bring in SMSs. We'll also bring in WhatsApp. We'll also bring in activities to create cold emails, and then cold calling is also something that we'll be bringing in. But this is a long term future roadmap, right, Gonzalez? So I should clarify that is not something that's coming out in the next 15 days or a month. It takes a large amount of time, genuine amount of deliberation, and serious amount of investments from our side to be able to do all of these things. And so that's kind of primarily where we are. And on those lines, Mayur also has a question where he's asking, how about LinkedIn emails, right? All of that. So thank you for that. And so I'll instead of talking about features, what I'll do is I'll talk about the approach or the thought process, right? So the approach or the thought process is that if you are doing sales of any kind, right, whether it is part-time, full-time, in an agency or otherwise, if you're doing any kind of sales, then whatever kind of things that you need to be able to sell better or sell more is something that we will do, right? So sales typically has three aspects to it, which is enablement, engagement, and acceleration. And so sequences falls under enablement. And that's what we're building, and we'll build more on that as well. And then we'll build all of these micro tools and capabilities to help you engage and to help you accelerate your sales as well, right? Having said that, we'll go back to the demo. Anupama, over to you.
Yes. So one thing I would request all of you is that whenever you actually, have some need, which is for your agency, for your business. So for example, if you communicate to your clients using WhatsApp, using LinkedIn email, using SMS, then do let us know. Do let us know in these kind of forums, or let us know to our support, or you can actually go to, our updates.clientjoy.io, where we share our product updates, where you can also add your own requirements as a ideas. So like ideas. So do that, because these are the data points. We are actually looking at all those comments that you are making, all the ideas that you have submitted, all the votes that you have added to existing ideas, before we take a decision, like whether in email sequence we should add SMS, whether we should add LinkedIn email. So whenever you have such requirements, please let us know. Okay. So coming back. Yeah. So what I was telling is that email sequence, whatever email sequence you are creating, it will be accessible to everybody in your workspace. So anybody can actually, once it is live, anybody can start enrolling leads with their own emails. But I will be sharing a little bit later how it will happen. So what will happen is that this email sequence initially will go into a lot of iterations, right? You will be trying some copies, trying some email templates. So all those things will happen. So you can again come to this page for editing it. You can go to this make changes. If, for example, if you want to update this email, just go to make changes and click on edit. You can edit it. If you want to change that, instead of 2 days, I want to set it after 3 days, you go here, just increase it. That will happen. So if you want to add a new step in between these two steps, add a new step, just use move up and move down options over here, and you can actually rearrange everything again. Whenever you are making a new change in the email sequence, it will only be applicable to the new enrollments that will happen after this change. The previous enrollments will not get this change. Okay. Okay, so coming back on that, like I have created this email sequence right now. So what I will do is that I will just do next. So there are two steps to email sequence. One is when you design the sequences with your email. Second is that you configure it, like when this email should go. So you can actually choose that if you want to send the emails only in your business days. So business days means like Monday to Friday in our system. If you want to send it all 7 days, you just come here and toggle it off. Like if you just turn it off, then your emails will go all 7 days. What it means is that like sending in business days, that if, for example, your first email went on a Friday, right? And it is saying that next email should go after 2 days. Then it is counting 2 business days. So your next email will go on Tuesday instead of, like Sunday or Monday. So Monday, the next day will be counted from Monday. We will skip Sunday, Saturday and Sunday. Okay. Second is that you can actually choose the time window when these emails should reach. Ideally, you would want, you can find some standard times according to each time zone, according to each industry, and then you can choose the time range. So what happens is that when we start sending the email, for example, here it is saying that I want to send emails at 8 a.m. So what will happen is that if you have enrolled, for example, 100 contacts, then from the 8 a.m., we will start sending them email one by one, right? Mimicking the human behavior. So all the emails will not go at 8 a.m., but we will start at 8. We'll try to, it will finish very fast, but you can see that here we are just taking the start time. The reason is this, that there is no end time. Like the emails that you have enrolled will define like when will it end. Okay, so the time zone in which these emails will be going, that will be your workspace time zone. So which we are showing over here. In our case, it is showing Asia, Kolkata. If you want to change it, go to your workspace settings and change it. Otherwise, you just do the calculation and choose the time over here. Okay, so this is like the email sequence is ready for enrollment. Let's go to save and enroll leads now, the second step. Okay, I forgot to give it a name. Let's say that email sequences for fundraise startup. Let's say save the name. You can see that the name has come over here. Okay, so when you are enrolling it, so it is just showing you that how you can enroll it. So you need to go to the leads tab, and from there bulk select all the emails and just choose the sequence in which you want to enroll, and then enroll. Let's enroll some leads.
And before we enroll, I think we have another question that I
Yes.
think we could take up. And so the question is on the lines of can we currently add a task in the sequence, right? So something like call client. Is that possible?
So in the first version, it is not possible, but it is something that is something that we have actually in the next version plan.
Got it. And so basically, what could happen is theoretically, and correct me if I'm wrong, and so I'm just sharing that so that Dan, who's asked this question, gets a little more clarity on what could happen in the future. Is that you could create an email sequence which is email number 1, and then email number 2, let's say, goes out 3 days later, and then you create an activity that says send LinkedIn connection request to the prospect, right? And so then when you enroll a lead, so let's say if Anupama is the lead, I enroll her on day 1. So the first email goes out, and then 3 days later on day 4, the second email goes out, and then 2 days later, I will get a reminder on my calendar as well as in my activity board saying find Anupama on LinkedIn and send her a connection request, right? So that's something that we will be bringing in very, very soon. It was actually supposed to go out as a part of this update itself, but then we said let's go out with just email sequences. Let's look at the usage, and then let's collect as many feature requests as we can and get as much feedback as we can, and so that we can then also bring in all the other stuff as well. We don't want to cook features longer than we have to, and so yes, and so I think there's just another follow up from him where he says, yes, but until the task is not completed, the sequence is not sending the next emails in the sequence, right? And so that's a requirement that you have. So what we will do, Dan, is that in that version we will be adding that as a part of the setting for that sequence, right? And so in some cases, you may want to create a sequence where even if the task is not marked as complete, it should move on to the next email or the next step, whatever the case may be. In some sequences, you may not want to do that. And so just like I think 2-3 minutes ago, when Anupama was showing the settings screen, where we spoke about what should be the time when the email should go out, and what time zone it is, and what days should it go out on, and so on and so forth. There we will be adding another setting that says don't move to next step if the task has not been completed, right? And so, thanks, Dan. So he said, sounds great. Keep the options open. Thank you for that. Coming back to the demo, Anupama, if you can, yeah.
So all of you, just keep sharing with us like your use cases, how you would be actually, using the email sequences. So the information which, then shared, I want to actually send the next email after the task is completed. That is very important, right? So just keep sharing with us. It's very insightful for us. So we'll keep those things in mind whenever we are, designing the new updates. Okay. So we'll go to the enrolling journey now. So I just so you have to for enrolling you need to bulk select the lead, or you just choose the leads which you want to enroll in this email sequence. So you need to come to the list view of your sales pipeline. So you already know that we have two views of the sales pipeline. One is your Kanban, which is your sales pipeline view, and other is your list view. So you just need to come to the list. Then you can start choosing your leads based on like filters that are available. So if you want to, choose your leads which are assigned to you. If you want to choose a particular stage, so you can apply. If you want to choose a lead of a particular tag, you can use these filters to apply those steps. Once you get the list, you can just bulk select it. So I'm choosing all these people of Dandan Muslim. Let's say let's send these many people. Okay, so at one, you can actually enroll 50 leads in that at once. So I'll be sharing, some limits that are here. So what happens is that when we are using your emails to send these email sequences, we can actually send only 500 emails in a day, right? That's the limitation that you also have if you are trying to send, one emails from your own email addresses. So you are allowed to send only 500 email addresses. And when you are actually enrolling leads, we allow only 50 emails to be enrolled at once. So you will have to do the whole enrolling in the batches of 50 if there are that many emails that you want to enroll. So for this use case, I'm choosing these many leads. And you can see that in the bulk action, there is a feature of enroll to email sequence. This is new. So it is having the new tab. Just choose it. It will be showing me all the email sequences that we have in the workspaces. I'll be choosing the paper industry sequence. So at this stage, what happens is, so whenever we are actually, you are choosing some leads, we do verification of, if there are any duplicate emails that are present in the email, if the leads you have chosen, if they are already part of these email sequences, if there are some custom merge fields that you have used in your email template, but that data is not available in your leads information. So we find all those scenarios. There is a screen which comes before that where we show you that we cannot enroll these leads because it is already enrolled, or this data is missing for this. And then you can choose to go ahead with the remaining leads, or you can actually, go back, correct everything, and then come back and start the enrolling process again. So, so this is the preview page. So you can see that when all the emails will be going. So you can see that on the 3rd August, the this email will be going. You can choose like a lead from here. You can see how emails will look to this lead. So this is a preview of all the emails for Jan, for Oscar. So before you actually enroll them, just have a thorough look at all the merge fields, all the subject lines, all the dates that are there. Here we also
I
check.
love, I love I have to say, I love the recipients of this email list. The recipients of this email lists are my favorite.
That's why I chose the. I actually created this Excel sheet. If you want to use it somewhere for just trying out, I can give it to you. This is like all office characters.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this is the preview which I was showing. If, for example, if at one day your limit is exceeded, that also we will show to you here that you're exceeding the limit on, for example, this day. So please go and remove these leads, or just enroll again. So once you are done with all your reviewing things, you can actually click on launch sequence for 8 leads, right? So you can see that 8 leads are enrolling, and let's launch it. Okay. If you had forgotten to review, we will tell you. Please review your email templates must be in time when it will be going. So one thing I forgot. Whenever you are enrolling your lead, the first email will be sent when you are enrolling, at that moment only, right? And the rest of the emails, the second, third, fourth, fifth, that will go or at the window that you have chosen, right? So this is only in the first version. Later, we will allow you to schedule the step 1 as well. But this is something that you have to keep in mind. If you want to send the email at 10 a.m., then please enroll at 10 a.m. Just for the first email. Second, third, fourth will manage.
Got it. And so, like while we launch, I think this is an interesting thing that we should have covered. That is basically what happens when a reply comes in, right? So here's a question that says, what happens when I get a reply from client on my second email on the sequence, and how to stop sending them further emails from the sequence?
Yes, I will be taking care of this journey. It will come.
Oh, okay. You want to create suspense?
So basically, like a standard system, if your lead is replying to your any of the emails, right, they will be automatically unenrolled from the email sequence. So that means is that the next emails will not go to them. If your lead actually replied you like through some other medium, right? Maybe they reached out to you on LinkedIn, maybe they called you, which we were not able to track, then you can actually go and unenroll them manually. So
Got it. Got it. So I hope this
I'll be
answers.
showing you that. Yes, I'll be showing you that.
Yeah, awesome. Moving on.
Okay, so yes, enroll lead. We are again verifying if everything is perfect, and yes, it's done. So congratulations, lead enrolled in email sequence successfully. Okay, take me to the sequence. Okay, so basically, this is the page where once the email is enrolled, so this is your email sequences page. So here you can see, like how has your email enrollment performing. So till now, for example, 13 leads have been enrolled into it. 3 have opened them. None of them have replied, and none of them have like yet cleared the whole sequence. So, and you can see, you can come to the enroll lead. This will tell you all the leads that have been enrolled, right? You can see that which step they are on. So if somebody is on step one, when was the last email sent to them? Right? Next step on August 25. So you can see that when the next email will go to them. You just have a look at it. Okay. So all the emails that we send, so what you will see is that so right now it is saying scheduled for some, right? Because we will be sending them one by one at the best interval which is available. So this is saying schedule. It will become ongoing when the email goes to the slave. Okay, now let's see. So we can see that emails have already been sent to these three people. Let's see their journey. I'll open it for Oscar.
Yeah, because Oscar's the most diligent one, right? So he's the accountant. He reads all the emails. He's the best staff member. I think the only person who worked genuinely in the
Yes.
office. Yeah.
Okay, so you can see that this email has come from Anupama free to chat. This was the first email step that we had. You can just open it. So the email has arrived. Oscar can read at this email. He can click on the link, not this. Can schedule a meeting.
Wow, this looks like a brilliant website. Which website is this?
That was our website, client website.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you can see that I had given in the step one the email scheduler. This is powered by ClientJoy only, so it's our own scheduler. You can see that. So let Oscar book a meeting as well. For now, this is going out of the flow, but to show
And
you something.
while so just to kind of quickly also mention is that this is our own meeting scheduler. This sleek, beautiful, simple, amazing scheduler has been built by ClientJoy and deployed by ClientJoy. And if the purple is very jarring for you, is this purple? Is this violet? What color is this, by the way?
That was a custom CSS that I had put on. So that was
That
purple.
was Thank you for ruining my joke. But it's okay.
Sorry.
Uh, either way. So the meeting is booked. Please carry on.
Yes, I was getting, email notifications. So sorry. So you can see that Oscar opened the email in the notification. We get that Oscar opened the email. So again, that came.
While we are talking about the opening of emails and clicking of links and stuff like that, I think there are two other quick questions.
Yes.
So the first one is are email opens impacted by iOS 15 privacy changes?
Email open. No, they will not be.
Oh wow!
Because yes,
Are
because
you saying that we are beating Apple? What is this? What
so
magic is this?
yes, so that depends on actually how it works. Is that it's not even Apple. Like on the Outlook also, you cannot track them. If there is, so if a person is allowed to actually render the images, then only the track works. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Mhm.
So if you are allowing the images, then it will work.
Oh, okay.
So we are
Just
not
one second.
tracking.
Did
We
you?
are not tracking the emails from the background, right? So we are not using Apple to track these emails. So how it happens is something that is a lot of engineering, but basically if you are sending an email right to your lead, if in iOS also you can open, the images are rendering. So if the images are rendering, then it will be tracked.
Okay, got it. But so the email open rates and iOS 15 privacy changes have, in this case, have nothing to do with each other. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Exactly. Because we are not using iOS permissions to know the open.
Got it.
The
Got it. We
mechanism is
are
outside. The mechanism is the browser mechanism. It is outside the Apple ecosystem.
ecosystem altogether.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. All right. Learn something new every day. So it's okay. We have another question, and that is it possible in sequences to put in any conditions? So, like if the first email is opened, send email number 1. If the email is not opened, then send email number 3 and stuff like that. Is that a possibility?
No, that's something that will come in workflow automation. It is not part of email sequences.
Got it. So that is workflow automation. And so with workflow automation, you'll be it is a much more comprehensive version of automations, which is where it will combine, it will bring together almost all possibilities that are there in client joy, right? So as an example, so this could be one use case where if the first email is opened, send email number 2. If the email has not been opened in 3 days, then send email number 3. However, there are a lot of other possibilities. So things like as soon as the proposal is signed, send out an invoice of the same item in the same amount, which is also again one of the fairly requested features within client joy, right? And so that is a workflow automation stuff, which is much larger in terms of scope, but we'll be bringing that as well. So in email sequences, the key idea behind sequences is primarily to help you automate follow-ups, right, with leads and prospects, right? So this will not make your journey of running your agency very efficient. This will essentially save time of the sales, the amount of time that you invest in sales, right? So that's kind of where we are. But carry on, Anupama, you were saying.
Yes, sure. So I was something, I was telling on the enrollment journey was that you saw that I enrolled this week, right? So what happens is when I am enrolling the week, the email will go from my email account, right? So one thing which is prerequisite for actually enrollment is that you need the access of your mailbox. So your plan should have access to the mailbox, calendar or scheduler. Second is that your email account should be connected. So once your email account is connected, then only you can enroll your lead. So these are the two things you have to take care. Then this email sequence is accessible to everybody in your workspace. So if I am enrolling, it will go from my email. If Yash is enrolling some leads, then it will go from Yash's email. So this is something which I wanted to bring it. Okay, now coming back to the Enroll Leads performance, right? So you can see that now all the schedule has become ongoing over here. That means the first email has been sent to all these leads. You can see that we know that Oscar opened the mail, right? So if you can see 4 people opened the email, Oscar was one of them. And now let me do the reply journey. I have. Okay, let me just open. Can you see the notification on the screen which said that it's my personal email, so I'm not sharing the screen, but you can see that Sam Leasley opened the email. So I'll be just replying to that email. Yes, I am interested.
Actually, we are not able to see the push notification because that's where you are also there on the screen, right?
Okay.
The setup is because you're also giving the demo and then you're also showing the screen. So the exact place where the push notifications comes within
Right.
Client Joy is the exact place where you are there on the screen, and so we are not able to see that, but we can always see notifications within the notification tray, and
No.
so I think
Yeah.
that's good enough.
Yes. Okay. Let's refresh it.
Awesome. Is there anything else in email sequences that we should look at?
Yes. So I'm just showing you a reply. So I have sent the reply from Pam's account, and it should be unenrolling and how you can unenroll. These two things I'll be sharing.
Sure.
Okay, so you can see that one reply has come. It came from Pam. You can see the reply as well if you click on Pam. I'll just show you later. That's all. You can always go to your Enrol Leads section again and again and can look at, what is the live status of. So you can see that for Pam Beasley, because she replied, she was unenrolled. So it says that it is finished. So for her, the sequence is finished, and it finished on the step one only, right? On the step one. Let's say that Oscar reached out to me outside the system, and I can just, go to the Oscar and click on these triple dots and just click on unenroll, right? And you can see that it is finished. So if you want to know, like Oscar is also unenrolled from the sequence. Why they were unenrolled, whenever you want to know, you just details, right? You can see that Pam was because she replied, Oscar, like finished by Alex White. So I did it. So my account name is Alex White over here. So I did it manually. Yeah. So these were the, like the journeys, like how you can unenroll these leads. If there are any questions, we can take it, Yash. Otherwise, there is one more thing which I wanted to show.
So there's this one question. It's not actually a question, but I think it's a comment. It says we can say that the aim of email sequences is just to nurture the leads to finally book an appointment, kind of. I'll tell you what. So it would be putting it very simply, and you could say that probably at this point of time. But as and when sequences evolves over the few weeks and months to follow, you will see that you can use it for a wide variety of cases, right? And so, but this could be used to sum up the purpose of email sequences as of now, for sure.
Okay.
Awesome. I think that's pretty much it, right, Anupama? Is there anything else?
Yes. I'll just take 5 more minutes if that's okay.
Sure, that's okay.
Yes. So you can see that my mailbox is integrated. So in client only, I received that Pam opened the email. And she replied. I got to know. So I just opened my inbox and I can see that Pam has replied, right? So the beauty of this thing is that in my inbox, I can see that she has replied, yes, I'm interested. This email got automatically linked with my lead, which was Pam. So I can actually, go to Pam and look at all the emails that have come from her. So it gets linked. I think I already opened her here. Yeah. So I can directly reach to Pam. I can check all the emails, whatever. If I want to update this Pam, if I want to send her a proposal, make a note, anything I can do. So when Oscar had booked the meeting, again, in my mailbox, I received an email that Oscar has booked the meeting. So you can see that. Because this email is not sent from Oscar, so it will not be linked with Oscar. So one thing that you can do is that you open that email in your ClientJoy's mailbox and just link it with Oscar. So what will happen is that it will start appearing in your leads emails as well. So yeah, this was one thing that I wanted to show.
Well, that wasn't 5 minutes, but but it's always good to sort of like under promise and over deliver, right? And so thank you for asking for 5 minutes and finishing it in 2. Great.
Okay, the screen is unshared. Okay.
Oh, I can bring it back if it's important. I can bring it back.
Yes. I would want to, always end with this screen. So the magical
Sure.
screen, I say. So again, when you one day open your ClientJoy account, you log in, land on dashboard, just visit this recent activity by lead card, and it will tell you what happened when you were away. So, the good things, like all of us want to know whenever a lead interacts with us, whenever lead is opening our mail, opening our proposal, replying to us, all that comes here. Now I'm done.
Are you sure?
Yes, yes, yes. I will
You
say
have like
something for
one and
the
a half
next.
minutes.
I
You
will
say
say
something for the
something for
next
the
one.
next. Right. Sorry for not telling the exact time. Yes, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. oh shit. I was on mute. I made a joke. Now it won't work though. But that's okay. So thank you for taking us through the demo of email sequences. And I should also mention at this point of time is that is that the sequences is just the V1 of what's possible with email sequences, right? As you may have seen while asking the questions, or you may have seen while we answer those questions, that there's a lot more possible. There's a lot more possible in terms of bringing in SMSs, cold calling, bringing in activities, bringing in automations within ClientJoy, and so on and so forth. And so, and that's why I always want to mention that while we are showing you what we've built today, we want you to know that what is the thought process of what we are building, and what are the things that are coming in the future, right? And while I say that, I should also say that if you have a feature request, if you have an idea, if you have a requirement, then please head over to updates.clientjoy.io and submit your feature request, right? This is the only way we, the team at ClientJoy, get to know what your priorities are, right? And we firmly believe that it's not our job to make the product roadmap, right? So our job is to make the product, and our job is to make it as robust, as efficient, as secure as possible. But our roadmap should always come from our users, and so we should always collaborate with them, partner with them, understand what their requirements are, and essentially that should be the roadmap that we work on. And so if you have any features that you want on ClientJoy, please go over there and submit a feature request. Email sequences came to us as a feature request. Client portal came to us as a feature request. These are the two best modules, features that we worked on in the last, I think, 3 or 4 months. Most of the other things have come in as a feature request. We are currently considering between lead forms, multiple sales pipelines, and allowing people to integrate multiple email accounts with their ClientJoy account, and different calendars and stuff like that, right? So we are currently figuring out what to work on between both of those. But however, that's so just summing it all up. Thank you for joining in. I'm super excited. Please use email sequences. Let us know what your thoughts and feedbacks are. Let us know what we should work on next. And I will see you both, Anupama and I will see you again, same time, same place, wherever you are next week. Bye-bye.